Hi everyone, welcome back to Coding with Carl and the Zero to Android show, the show where you get to watch me go from zero experience with Java and Android development to hopefully running and selling, maybe, a fully fledged Android application. This is episode 36, I believe. I'm not sure. Let's check the YouTube channel. Yes, I believe it is episode 36, and if you're interested in watching any of the previous episodes, you can catch up here on YouTube on the Coding with Carl channel, and if you check out the Zero to Android playlist here, you'll see all the back episodes, and I do try and get them uploaded very close to the end of the stream, usually within a few hours. Yesterday we were, and it's actually a job that spanned us a few streams now, we were trying to work in a scheduled tasks interface, if you like, so that we could populate this table here, this prototype table. So the goal here is to be able to set up a repeating task such as morning routine or hit the gym or something like that, that repeats every single day and auto-populates for us. And hopefully by the end of this stream, we'll have we'll be able to support 2 of these every day and day of week, and we'll be able to maybe render a list of tasks here that is a hybrid of ones we've added manually and our scheduled ones. So where were we yesterday? We were here. It says here, Carl, pick up here. See? I write myself very useful notes. And we need to tell the adapter to call this method when an item is clicked. So send a context to it. Copy what you did in the task adapter. Okay, so first thing we need to do is make sure that the adapter for this recycler view is, and you know what, let's work through so that we can see where we're up to now. If we do every day at 7 AM for 1 hour, we're going to do morning routine. Then it will take us through to this goal activity, and what we want is this activity and the adapter that populates this list. Yeah, this is where we are. So this recycler view here has an adapter which provides it with the data it needs to render these list items, and I need a back reference almost in this adapter to the activity so that we can call this finalize workflow method from it. Because there are 3 exits from this activity, we can either create a new goal and press create, we can set no goal, which will fire this one, and then there's the one where you actually click the list item, but that is handled in the goal adapter. Here we are. So you'll see this onClick method here. This is where the magic happens. So first thing we need is a notion of activity in here. So private goal activity, and that needs to be set in the constructor here, and we're passing quite a lot through to this, so I think we might be able to get rid of those last 2, task ID and slot size, because we won't be doing this this insert here. We'll be doing it in the activity, which is where it really should be. So maybe what we need to do is first of all pass it a context, so that'll be a goal activity context, and I think we should be able to get rid of task ID and slot size, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look where it is used. So it's only used in those 3 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can get rid of it, and slot size I believe, because this insert is going to be done elsewhere. So let's get rid of these 2 lines here. Let's put a new one in, this dot activity equals context, and we'll get rid of those arguments off the end there. Okay, where's timestamp used? Actually, it's only used there, isn't it? So we can probably get rid of that one as well. Yeah, Okay, let's do that as well. That clears things up a little bit for us. Okay, nice. Data sets. That cleans things up nicely. So here what we'll do now is we'll move it to the position, get the goal ID from the data set. We don't need to do any of that. That can all go shortly. That is useless to us, and this is the wrong way around. There we go. Because what we're going to do here is parent.this.activity or not. What did we do in the task adapter? On click task adapter.this.activity. Okay, right. Goal activity, goal adapter. There we go. So it's not going to be parent, it's going to be goal adapter .this.activity .finalize workflow. And what do we need to pass to finalize workflow? Goal ID and a timestamp. So goal ID and the timestamp. Do we need to pass the timestamp? Let's have a look. Goal activity. Why do we need the timestamp? Because it's already here, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure we do. Because we've got this .timestamp, haven't we? Yeah. So let's get rid of it from places where it's not needed. All right, so what do we need to do? What we need to do is, first of all, we need to write into the database. So what might be a good idea is to have a what insert are we doing there? We're doing the insert into the slot table, aren't we? Goal adapter. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we'll take all of this and you know what, let's put that in a register. KD or not. KD, right, get rid of those two, get rid of that, and finalize workflow will be in the goal activity. That one. Right down here at the bottom. It's in this one. So let's make some space and KP. And we're going to need the database regardless, so we'll put that there. Okay, so now we can do stuff like this. We can do this or not. This, that timestamp, goal ID we have because it's passed in. Task ID is going to come from the intent, or is it this .task ID? Let's have a look. Marker A, GG. Yeah, it's up here. Look, this .task ID and slot size is there as well. So we can do this .task ID. We can do, I don't know why my cursor keeps jumping down there. This .slot size and insert into the slots, and then this v.getContext will just be this, and same again here. And then we're going to launch the planner activity with that timestamp. So that's everything that we were doing in the, I think, can we do that here? This. Okay, I've done that. And this, we will not write into the slot table, we will write into the prototype table. And in order to do this, we need some extra data, don't we? Because we have a few extra fields. We have task ID, goal ID, operation, input. So task ID, well, that's going to be this dot task ID. That's going to be goal ID is passed in, so that's those two. Content value size is going to be wrong as well. We need to make sure we update that because there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. What's next? Operation and input. And then we have slot size. No, start seconds, then slot size. All right. Slot underscore size. Yep, very good. All right, so operation. Where is that coming from? That is coming from an intent, isn't it? So we need the original intent. Right, and then operation equals original intent dot get int extra, and that's going to be focus lib dot operation slug, default value of 0, and then we need, what's the other one? Okay, let me just move up a bit here. I'm a little bit uncomfortable. There we go. Input. Input is going to be. Do we have a slug for that? Do we pass that through? Not sure if we do. Let's have a look at the prototype activity. We have operation, slot size, start seconds, and mode, but we don't have the input because it doesn't really exist yet. We do need it. Let's have a look at our interface. So in the case of every day, the input is going to be null, I believe, or 0. Could be 0. Yeah, so there's a little bit of extra work to do here, and it's to do with input stuff. Okay, so we need essentially to do input slug. And that's going to change depending on the value of the operation. So let's do int operation equals, and then we'll pull this out here. Okay, so I can't do that. C. No. Okay, so C operation, and then up here P. Yes, nice. Okay. And then I can switch that operation there, so I can do switch operation, and then we can do things like case this dot operation day of month position. Alright, so we want everyday position first, don't we? Because the other two we don't want to support yet. So that one is the first one that we support. And I think we can support day of week, break. And then we need a default as well. And that's going to be something like log.e call. Not supporting any other operation just yet. And then we'll stick a big fat to do in there. Support them all. Okay, we have a problem here in that the log class isn't included, so let's do that. Right, this I believe is because constant expression required. It is a constant expression. It's because it needs to be prototype activity dot. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. So if it is every day, then we will put a int inputs equals 0. I know we don't need to do this, but just in case we initialize it to something else later, we'll make sure that we explicitly do it there. What's the problem there? Input is never used, of course it's not. Input equals, and this one's going to be day of week spinner. I'm not sure where that is. Spinner. Week spinner, maybe, something like that. Did we give it an ID? r.id.day. Spinner proto day. That it? Could be. Okay. Input is then going to be the position of that spinner plus 1. So it's going to be day of week spinner. Why have I got day spinner? Where's day spinner? That's up there. Spinner proto day. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. I have crashed Android Studio. There we go. Where are we? Day of week spinner dots selected item position. Get selected item position. Thank you. +1. Okay, and then what's the problem there? Unexpected token, because we don't need that. And then we can put that extra there, input slug we don't have yet, but that's going to be input, right? So we need focus lib d2 underscore in inputs. Even though this plugin does a very good job of emulating Vim bindings, when you're used to using NeoVim every day, you just fall over yourself all the time. Input. Okay. Right, so that should be passed through now. It goes through to the task activity through here. If we're in schedule task mode, we also need to pass through the input slug, d2 underscore input slug, and then we need input. Where's the original intent? There. Int inputs equals original intent dot get in extra focus lib dot input slug, default value 0. Right, so that passes through to there, and then the next stop is the goal activity class. And in here we have the original intent again, and we should be able to get the input now. Default value 0. Right. What's the matter? What's the matter with that? Int array extra. Okay, so now we have that. That's those two. We need start seconds and slot size. Question mark. Slot size. Does slot size come through with it? Should do. Because we did send it through from the task activity, didn't we? Yeah, slot size and start seconds are both there. Goal activity. Size equals original intent dot get in extra focus lib dot slot size slug. And this one will be start seconds. That should be everything we need, I believe. So start seconds can now be start seconds, and slot size can now be slot size. And then we can populate not the slot table, but the prototype table with those things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all integers, and that will give us a row ID that I'm not sure we need. Okay, so we'll write into the proto table in the schedule type, and then otherwise send it back to the planner activity. Okay, so question, have we... Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we need a destination. We need somewhere to go back to. And I think it's going to be the planner. Intent, new intent equals new intent, is it? Yeah. this, and it's going to be planner activity dot class. We're not going to send it a timestamp through. We just want to return to where we are, our home, if you like, the current time, and we'll do new intent.start activity. No, we won't. We'll do start activity. Start activity intent, new intent. Okay, so just getting ahead of myself a bit here, and now I'm thinking about what needs to happen in the planner activity. And what needs to happen is every time we launch the planner activity, we need to say, okay, are there any slots that we haven't populated? And that should happen probably once a day. But it's easy enough to test because we can just run we can get the last timestamp in the slot table. Is that going to cause a problem? Let's have a think. So, how do we pre-populate slots from our prototype table effectively or efficiently? We could, every time the planner activity starts up, check when the last slot in the slot table is. If it falls within our 60-day window and not on the edge of it, it's possible that we haven't populated with a new scheduled task. We haven't populated with prototypes entries up to the end of the window. Now there's a couple of problems with this. One, what if the last scheduled falls on a Tuesday and the window ends on a Thursday? I'll tell you what will happen here. What will happen is that we'll end up running routine that populates the slots every time, and that will be probably, well, that will use resources that will use resources that we don't want to use. And the other problem is has disappeared from my psyche. I think that's enough of one to put me off wanting to do it. Okay, what is an alternative? An alternative would be Alt-1. We could keep a local variable somewhere, or a persistent variable somewhere, maybe the DB, that would tell us what the last day we auto populated was. Now there's an issue with this, and that issue is that if we add a new schedule task, it won't appear for 60 days. So two approaches, both flawed. What else could we do? Well, one way around this would be to, when we create one, run a job that fills the 60-day window with only the newly added task. That seems sensible, right? And then, yeah, that seems fairly sensible. Is there a workaround for this one? There isn't a workaround for that one. I don't really love it, to be honest. But in order to facilitate this one, we need to add something to our database. We need some kind of state table, some kind of program state table. So it'd be something like create table if not exists. Maybe that could be like settings, or I guess we could just call it 10K. And we'd have something in here like we could have, for example, start of day seconds. I know that's irrelevant to what we're talking about now, but it is something that needs to be configurable, and that would be an integer. That would allow for, how do you do a comment in SQLite? So that one would allow for changing the slot that the day starts on. You know, at the minute it auto scrolls us to 7 AM. That would be a good place to keep that, maybe. And also we could keep the last TS auto generated. That would be an integer timestamp, and that would be the timestamp of midnight of the last job we ran. So that's not a bad idea. And then every time the day changes, that route, it just picks up, and we pick up this this variable here, and if we're ahead of it, we just run a job for the next day. Is there anything else that we could add to this table now? Any kind of config? I don't think so. I reckon let's just do this route for now. What we'll need to do is maybe in focus lib, seems like a smart place to put it for now. We'll write two routines, or we'll write one routine. One will populate a day in the slot table with everything from the prototypes. It will not allow an overwrite on the slot table, will it? Because we have a primary key on timestamp. So conflicts will be, will just result in the prototype not being added. I think I'm okay with that for now. We could later on catch catch a duplicate key error and warn the user about it. So we could do on auto populate, catch a duplicate key error, and inform the user that there's a scheduling conflict, something like that. And then put the onus back on them to sort it out. Yeah, I think we should do this. Let's do it that way. So, how do I do this now? It's something along the lines of... I don't think I need it actually. Don't think I can do copy and paste between these two. No, I can't. Yeah. Where's my error in here? There's an error in here. Ah, okay, so yeah. A couple of things that are different here. First of all, we need to pass this as a context, and we need to get rid of those three other things. So that, and it can go, and that can go. How's that? That's that error gone. Okay, Android Studio now grinding to a halt, and I wonder if it's because I'm running the application. Not sure. Seems a bit zappier. Task activity. Input slug. What's the problem there? Ah, array extra again, look. So D2E. You see how much slower this is than NeoVim. It's a real shock when you jump from one to the other. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to, before we go back to, in this finalize workflow method, we need to, before we send off this intent, we need to run the job that will, look how slow this is, populate. Wow. I've got errors somewhere and I think that's what's causing it to slow down. Run the job that will populate the slots for the new task to do. Why is this so slow? What's going on? Where is the error? There. That's no longer an error, is it? It says there's an error in here somewhere. There. Expected semicolon. Don't tell me that this slowdown has been caused by a semicolon being missing. Oh god, this is dog slow. Okay, focus, lib. Okay, so we need a new public static function. Look how slow this is. This is awful. And it's going to be something like populate slots for task for prototype maybe, and then we'll pass it a prototype ID. Int proto ID. Oh god, this is awful. It's not public static function. I have been writing in JavaScript all day long, and that's what happens when you do that. It's going to return probably an, let's say void for now. I am seriously considering restarting Android Studio. Alright, so what's going to happen there? It's going to run a loop for every day between now and the end of the current 60-day window. And that's really a 30-day window because 30 of those are in the past. Why is this so slow? Do you know what? I'm going to restart it. And last time this happened, I actually had to restart my machine, so I'm not hopeful for this restart. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Maybe I should restart the plugin. This one. Can I restart it? Can't restart it. What's my CPU usage like? Let's have a look. OBS will tell us. Not terrible. Okay. So run a loop for every day between now and the end of the current 60-day window, which is really 30 days into the future. If check if the past prototype is applicable to said day. If it is, then create a slot for it. Okay. So, question, should we just pass the ID and then pull it out of the database? That's probably the smart thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, because then the state of that object only, the state of that data structure only lives in one place. Okay, so we need the DB. Focus DB, is it, or is it an SQLite database? Oh god, this is awful. DB equals focus DB. I'm having to type at like half of my normal speed here. Focus database.get database context. We need context. Where should I get that from? Let's just pass it in. Context. Because that's going to be different depending on, it's not always going to be the goal adapter, is it? We could be using it elsewhere. Let's see if we can get away with that. And then we can pass that to here. So we've got the DB, and the next thing to do is db.get. We have insert, don't we? Select. I just want one row from the database. Android SQLite. Let's have a look at what this affords us. So we've got, it's slowing everything down, look at this. We don't want transaction, we don't want delete, we don't want delete, we don't want that. We don't want that, we don't want that. I guess we just want query then. I only want to grab one, and I was hoping that there'd just be a simple lookup based on this. Okay, no. So yeah, we do have to run a query. So it's going to be a select, which means we are going to need a, let's have a look at the goal activity and how we did it there. Content values, I believe. Where do we do the lookup? Let's have a look in the goal adapter. Do we pass the, yeah, we do pass the data set in there, so it's goal activity. Select, query. There we go. So list columns, and then we run something like that, and that gives us a cursor like. Let's just copy all that out. Look how horribly, horribly slow this is. Ugh. Okay. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. And obviously I can't restart my computer because I'm live, so that sucks. Alright, so we need list columns, don't we? So I want row ID, I want, what else do I want from this? I want everything, don't I? I want task ID, goal ID, operation, input, start second, slot size. I want all of it. Task ID, goal ID, operation. Oh my god. Keep up. Task ID. Goal ID. If you're watching this back on YouTube, now will be a good time to turn on ×2 speed, because I should not have this much input lag. There's absolutely no reason for it. Alright, so let's just expand this out a bit. Look, I'm leaving a mess all over because it just cannot keep up. Task ID, goal ID, operation, input, start seconds. Operation. input. Wow. This is ridiculous. Start seconds. Row ID, task ID, goal ID, operation input. Start seconds and slot size. Okay, that. So this is going to come from the prototype table. And we need to, it's one of these, and I'm not sure which one it is. Selection args, it's not that one, is it? Is it having? Maybe that is the where. Not sure. So we got string table, string columns, string selection args. So is it something like SQLite query examples? Can't really blame autocorrect for that spelling mistake, can I? And now we wait. Alright guys, we're coming towards the end of the stream now. It's 8 minutes left. So if anybody's got any questions about anything we've done today, if you put them in the chat for me, I'll do my best to get them answered before the end of the stream. Okay, I'm going to abandon that one. I guess this is Java. So the where clause is the second one. So we got like, yeah, row ID equals and then question mark. Like this. And then this one will be the values of it. So I guess that would just be the proto ID. And is that an array? It's a string array, right? So we need a string array. Oh wow. I'll just do it really slowly. String array where args equals new string array so there's only one thing in it, and that is proto ID, and that needs to be cast to a string. What is it? Integer.toString. Proto ID. Save. Where args. Oh god, this is awful. Okay, so that should get us what we want, which is the row from the prototype table, hopefully. If the list cursor is null, then the prototype query failed. if it's not, then we need to check that the count is more than 0. And if it is, then woohoo. Right. What do we do if it is? We have, at that point, we can do, it's not list cursor at all. This is the, we'll just call it cursor. If it is more than 1, then that's when we need to start looping over. So we need to loop between now, midnight, local midnight, and the end of the 30-day window. So we'll do today plus 30 days, I think. So we'll do 4 int I equals 0, or I is less than 30, I plus plus. And what we will do is we will increment. So we'll get a start TS, which will be starting, wow, ingts equals focus. It's going to be this actually, isn't it? Lib, no, dot top of day local. And then we'll start looping forward from there. And then we'll need to check. So we'll need to switch on the operation. So it's like if switch, and we need to move to first cursor dot move to first. There should only be one, so that shouldn't be necessary, but it might be. Yeah, and then we can switch the, which one is it? It's the operation which is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it'll be cursor dot get int 3. And that's wrong. We need to do this. Case focus lib dot prototype day of week. That's the first one, and we also need the input from it. Let's do a default as well. You can see how absolutely awful this editor is right now. Okay, so then if input, which we're yet to get, equals 0, then it's every day, so it's applicable to everything. It's every day. Make a slot. Else, then it's a specific day of the week, and we need to see if it's applicable. Okay, I am going to end the stream here because I need to restart my machine, because either Android Studio or the idea of Vim plugin has sucked the life out of it entirely. And that is a crying shame. This is where we'll pick up from tomorrow. let's have a look at our to-do list before we clock off. So first of all, let's just get that input variable so that I don't forget. Int input equals, okay, cursor dot get int, and it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth index, so that we don't break anything. Okay, and let's leave a note here. To do, Carl, pick up here. Check the to-do list. Where are we? This is, that's the one we're doing. And what have we done here? We've done the activity path. Yeah. And what we are doing next time will be the routine that does the initial population for a new scheduled task. See how lovely this is? Lovely and quick. And write the routine that populates a new day in our 60-day window with everything that's applicable from the prototype table. So that'll be next time, and next time will be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. UK time. That's UTC +1 because we're on British Summer Time right now. Let's check these changes into version control. End of episode 36. Finished the activity flow for scheduled tasks, and started working on the routine that will populate slots for a newly added task. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, commit. Lovely. Alright guys, I'm going to go and restart this machine and hope that it doesn't blow up before I get the chance to do that. Thank you for joining me today, and always, if you want to catch up, you caught the stream late or whatever, you can go to youtube.com and then search for Coding with Carl, wherein you will find the 0 to Android playlist, which is where all the previous episodes of this show are found. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, enjoy coding, and hopefully have better luck with this Vim plugin than I do. Thanks guys, see you later.